Matthew Frederick, local musician, solo musician, member of a duo called Hazel and Grey, and a band called Climbing Trees, as well as various other bits and projects. Yeah.
Wow, so you're a professional musician, Matthew.
Well, it's just about, scraping by, same as most musicians.
Yeah. So here we are in Parc Arts. What's your involvement? How have you ended up here?
I came across the venue just after it opened about 3.5 years ago. I live about half a mile up the road in Pontypridd, and like most people in Pontypridd, I didn't know this building existed, until it became Parc Arts. I didn't have any association with it as a chapel in its previous incarnation. And it's kind of tucked away, in the back streets of Trefforest, which I like. It's a real hidden gem of the community. But yeah, since discovering the place through Jess and Nate and Abs over the last 3 years, it's been a real blessing, a real blessed addition to my life as a creative person, and to all of the people I know, in Pontypridd and Trefforest. It's been great.
So what is it, if you had to put into words what it means to you, what the draw is for you, what happens to you when you're meeting people here, when you're performing here?
Well, as I say, it is a hidden gem, and I like places that are tucked away. You have to dig a little bit to find them, and then when you do find them, and you find all of this creativity in this small space, it's just a really inspiring place. You see Mordred's plaque up on the wall there, and think of the...
And she's next to you here?
Exactly, just behind me. And think of the kind of the music and the community and the spirit that's happened in this place over the last century and more. And now to see it over the last 3 years, given this kind of new lease of life almost. It's been really inspiring. And a great addition to Pontypridd and Trefforest and this creative community. And it feels like a place that is enabling and inspiring creativity. It's drawing these people in and then throwing more creativity out there into the valleys.
You're a musician, Matthew, and this is a venue for you as much as somewhere you come to meet people. You've performed here and produced here.
I've used it as a rehearsal space with the band. I've gigged here as a solo musician, member of a duo, member of the band, other various incarnations. I've jammed with people at the open mic, I've recorded here, I've put on a few events here as well with Nate and Abs. And it's just a place that allows you to kind of do what you want, You haven't got to fit into a particular idea, You can kind of, you're given that freedom to do what you want as an artist and as a creative person.
And what I'm picking up from talking to people is that it's obviously a place of art because it's an art centre. So art is, in all its variety, is celebrated and made and performed and produced. But there's a very strong community aspect. It's about connections and people finding each other.
The Kutch event on a Thursday afternoon is great, Every week you'll end up having an interesting conversation, sometimes with people you've already met. Last week, for example, there was a fella I hadn't chatted to before, and he's popped into the last few weeks, and he's toured all over the world. He's written books, he's produced things for the BBC, and he's from Pontypridd originally. He moved away to London, is now back in Pontypridd, and he's come home and he's kind of finding this new. Find himself in this new creative scene, and there's always these interesting conversations, and I was chatting to him for, an hour and a half, 2 hours, and every week something different happens, or a different idea is sparked, and that's what I love about this place.
So I think you said it's a blessed addition to your life. This is the way you put it, Matthew. So
and Nate and Abs and Jess over the last 3 years, I count them as really dear friends, They're not just people I know from this venue down the road. They real, they've been a wonderful addition to my life and my wife as well.
So this was a church, a kind of Sunday services and sacraments and all of that at one point falls into disrepair, and the Presbyterian Church of Wales makes a decision to do a new thing, enable a new thing. Does the fact that there's this previous history have something to, is what it is now part of what it once was? In other words, it may look different, but there's some continuity.
I think so. I mean, as I say, come into a building like this, and even though it's changed and adapted over the last few years, you still feel that history. You know, whenever you walk into a spiritual building, you know, and there's something in these walls and in these beams that inspire you as an artist, whatever form of art that is, you know. And I think, different artists, different forms have gravitated towards this building. There's been music, there's been visual art, there's been movement, poetry, comedy even, you know, which you wouldn't think would maybe work in this sort of space, but it does. You know, if you've got the right crowd of people, the right community of people, anything can work in this space, and it does, you know.
Yeah. Diolch.
Diolch yn fawr.
Pleasure. Thank you.